Welcome to Whiskey Conversations. I'm here with our guest, Brian Brushwood.
Yeah, we don't get a second take. That was it. Whiskey Conversations.
That's it.
Yep.
That's the whiskey once.
Yeah.
I'm going to pour for us something that we did in our first series of shoots together.
All right. Now, last time it was the very first
Redbreast,
drink we'd ever had, but this one I recognize, and we can finally hash it out because I don't know what the story is.
Oh no,
Because I've thrown everyone under the bus except me. I blamed literally everyone except me.
Cheers to you. Here's to being wrong on the internet.
They'll notice.
Oh God, that's so good. Okay, so
two things. First of all, let me see how well I remember it, because I guarantee of the two of us, you've gone back. You've zaprudered this film more than anyone.
Slow stop in a cave.
So, if I remember correctly, this was one of the Introduction to Whiskey episodes that we did on the Modern Rogue, and this was an example. It says on it, Unpeated, but we, as we were sipping it, if you look at it, and again, everything's gotten fuzzy. All I know is that people got mad. But we talked about the peatiness or the smokiness or something.
Yeah.
Where does the smoke flavor come from?
So it comes from peat.
And then meanwhile, it says unpeated on it.
Like on the bottle. Yeah,
and so this is the lone gunman theory is that even in an unpeated bottle, the pipes, it takes time to go from peated. You got to run something through. Other theory, the grassy knoll theory, is that it was an editing mistake.
Nope. It was a Daniel.
Oh no!
Yeah. You would know this. Most of the people watching the show probably don't realize how extreme of an introvert I am.
Yeah.
And when I'm here, I'm mostly performing an internal monologue. For the world.
It's authentically Daniel, but it is an on-purpose representation of Daniel.
Right.
That when, if you've ever played Five Nights at Freddy's, the switch flips off.
So what will happen sometimes is I will prep for something, and I'm ready, I'm done. I've done my homework, because I'm always really prepared for these things. But something changes on the fly. I can change on the fly. But sometimes when I pause in the moment and I go to reference the internal that I had prepared,
you have artifacts of the previous script.
Yes, I have like little ghosts in the machine of the previous thing I'd meant to do.
Yeah.
So I had prepared for you guys a smoky Isla. And then right before we were shooting, I pulled up the smoky Isla and it was basically empty. One of our somms had finished it. And it was going to be the Bruichladdich Port Charlotte, which is a heavily peated Bruichladdich.
So you just grabbed.
So I was like, that's almost. I thought it was full, but it was not full. So I just put it down and I grabbed another Bruichladdich. I was like, everyone loves the classic.
And then meanwhile, you're like run subroutine Bruichladdich speech.
Replace Bruichladdich with classic Laddie, and I sort of.
Well, and then meanwhile, because we're like blank canvases.
Yeah, you have no idea.
We're human LLMs. We're like, you're like, it's not just smoky. It dominates the smoke market. Yeah. You're a god of smoke.
No, I even specifically was like, there's a lot of peat in this one. And then as soon as it aired, like the first moment the words like in slow motion out of my mouth and the episode came out, I was like,
I mean, luckily...
But it set a precedent for us, and I don't want this to become the whole conversation, but it set a precedent for our channel for me.
Yeah.
And I made an objective decision for all time that I was going to be wrong because there's too many facts. Well, and I was inevitable that I'm going to be wrong, and I just decided, unless it misleads people in a dangerous way, I'm just going to live with the fact that sometimes I misspeak, or I'm thinking of something else and I talk about it, or I'm just flat out have the wrong information, and I'm going to let that go out into the world and be fine with it.
And I think that the world is getting used to that idea that a YouTube video is not like a television show where it's officially capital P published. Instead, it is an artifact of that moment, and you already see it even very, very small channels where people are editing their own videos. by the time talent version of them ends and editing version of them begins, they'll realize like, okay, what's more painful for me to publish this and then see the comments that I know are going to come, or just put on their, asterisk.
Yeah, my bad. He meant this one.
And in this case, Brant didn't. None of us knew.
Know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, your people were flawless. This was complete Daniel misspeaking, and the thing is,
see nowadays I'm nice and cynical, so I'm like, thank you for the engagement.
Yeah. Right now, there is an earthiness to the Laddie.
Yep.
Right. That if you don't know what you're looking for, your brain
I would think
mistake
it's peaty
as a heaviness. Yeah, and it's not, and there's no essence of peat in these. They're running these barrels.
Well, then what am I smelling that's earthy?
It's just the malt. It's the barley.
Okay.
You're just getting the good, nice, long fermentation, earthy barley.
This has been, I am loath to admit it, I am bad at tasting. and there is, it wasn't until like day 2 of Psalm 1 that I finally knew how to identify rye. And I know rye is a very loud tasting note, and everyone else recognized rye, but it wasn't until you said it's kind of, or somebody said it's like dillweed.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh, the thing that's like dillweed. Okay, now I recognize it.
That's the whole point of level 1.
Your
internal markers.
Exactly. What was the metaphor with you're in a snowstorm, you got poles?
Yeah, you got to place your own signposts. This is not about communicating. This is about finding your signposts that guide you from the house to the barn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and man, that section, that deductive tasting at the end is so much fun because it crosses that threshold between theoretical knowledge and hands-on. The smartest thing I ever did in scam school was an artifact because we had 2 ads. It used to be when we had 1 ad, it was A block was, here's a trick, ad. B block was, here's how it's done, the end. But then they handed me 2 ads, and I'm like, I don't know that's too much ads. So instead it was A block, B block, ad, and then C block, just to have time. I'm like, here, now you do it. And then it turns out that was the big surprise because maybe they're a neurosurgeon with very delicate hands out in the real world, but the moment you hand them a deck of cards, they're suddenly meat hooks. And they just clearly haven't ever spread a deck of cards before.
That's my favorite part of the episode.
Exactly, because they make the kind of mistakes that you would make at home. And then they're learning at all modalities, kind of like we talked about Wizard Academy, storytelling in different modalities. Now they're like, oh, I have to spread this way like a conveyor belt so that I could show all the indices or whatever. But likewise, that deductive tasting, all of the talking, I can nod and pretend to understand. But now it's like, now you have a forensic mystery. And you literally, and look, it's not the hardest test in the world now that I understand. But it was so much fun to very smoky, very earthy. Okay, this one, it's practically vodka. And then another one, I recognize rye now. And then we had to, it was by geography. And so it's like, okay, well, the one that, what did I learn about Canada and the double purity law? And
or whatever. Yeah.
It was great. It was great.
Funny. The beer purity laws of Canada.
Yeah.
I love that. So you, when you came to here at Wizard Academy and I met you, you were already a YouTube god in our world.
Yes. Again, big,
in our world.
Different landscape 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I was King Toddler of Preschool Mountain.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And but then since then, you've built. Let's just call it what it is. It's a compound.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or as I like to call it, Kmart Wizard Academy. I always make sure that people go to my place first.
Yeah, not the other way around.
Oh yeah, no, because otherwise it's like, this is the same just with duct tape. I'm like, yep.
So what are you doing now?
Well, to be honest.
Because I've been trying to keep up, and by the way, I'm on Patreon, and I am a follower, and I've watched episodes, but you do so much. I always feel like I'm missing part of your story.
To be honest, that's a little bit by design. I went to a place called Wizard Academy where I learned about the power of glamour and casting a long shadow.
Yeah, it worked.
So, man, I wish it was less of a cliche, but turning 50 gets you thinking about, like, what can I do that isn't just going to look more and more shambly over time, right? So it's like, doing all the experiments and blowing stuff up, all that chaos and stuff, injuring my hands for the millionth time or whatever. I'm like, not sustainable. If the modern rogue is equal parts gentleman, warrior, and scoundrel, really, I've given lip service to the gentleman. I did a decade as the scoundrel.
Yeah,
I did a decade as blown up stuff, improvising weapons, the warrior.
Time for the gentleman.
The beginning of the... And to be honest, it's the hardest of the archetypes because you have to be a grown-up man who actually doesn't have your sneaky magic tricks or hide behind your armies of people or whatever. So it's terrifying.
It's so weird because so my bandmates are my oldest friends. I'm the youngest in my band. I'm the baby. They were all married before me. I was like the seventh wheel, you know, and we would play shows and travel, and they always fed me, and you know. So they're all the oldest one's a good decade older than me, and then like 8 and 7, and they when I turned 40, they came here to Austin to hang out, and we went into a hat shop because we all love hats. Right? I'm a hat guy. I love hats because
because no styling your hair, right? Yeah.
And I turned to Ryan, our drummer. I was like, I think I need a hat for the new era. Like, I've been wearing these hats and these things, and that was the Daniel that got me to here. I think I'm realizing right now, like, who's the next Daniel? And because a hat is so much of my vibe, I think I need to choose the next. I think clothes are going to choose the next era.
Yeah.
And that was when I switched to black V-neck t-shirts, partially because my life was getting so complicated. It was one less thing to decide.
Not for nothing, black is slimming.
And then a hat, and it changed my whole, like, oh, this is me now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. When you walked in looking sharp.
Sharp. This is, I
love it.
I don't know. To be honest, I'm just copying aging punk rocker look.
So you're in the gentleman era. What does the gentleman era mean to you?
To be honest, my favorite artistic anything that I've done, you've listened to World's Greatest Con.
Oh my God. It is the only podcast that I have passed my home.
That's
more
awesome.
than once. And then gone, I need a longer loop.
That's great.
Because it's still going, and I'm like tapping on the screen, like, nope, 20 minutes. Okay, that means I can get, all right.
Yeah.
And like, it's so good.
They're a lot like just rich audiobooks. The first season is, I think, a 3-hour experience, and I'm so proud of them. We, Justin and I, because the audio production and the storytelling are so intertwined, that we've tried breaking the tasks into 2 different chunks, but it's more like music. We have to be in the same room.
Yes, you got to feed off of it.
Yeah.
By the way, it's called the World's Greatest Con.
Yeah, worldsgreatestcon.com.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, start at season 1, episode 1. There's a couple of seasons, some standalone anthologies, but to be honest, more of that just on camera and seeing the world.
You're a flawless storyteller. You turned everything that I ever watch into a story. Even your little random hangouts at a table, they all have a shape.
Yeah.
Do you do that on purpose, or do you do it instinctively?
Well, it doesn't come naturally. To be honest, I think that's part of what attracted me to Wizard Academy is like, oh, you can on purpose do these things. I think that's what attracted me to magic to the beginning is like there's a process. Like if you want a +1 to charisma, here are the reagents. Here is the incantation.
I love that you use the D&D
Do them in order, and you will get a temporary charm.
That's right.
Essentially.
It's a cantrip, so you can use it all the time.
Yes, exactly, right? It's a temporary buff.
Well, good. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. We've been trying to make this work with all of our schedules.
I'm glad we were finally able to correct the record.
Yeah, it's all me. It's all my fault. But cheers to you. Thank you, sir. And we're both really glad you're here.
What's another word that rhymes with sriracha? I got you.
So I got you.
I got you, sriracha.
Cilantro.
That's the other one. That's right. Yeah.
Cheers. So have you ever been wrong on the internet?
If you'd like continuing updates on all the ways that both of us are wrong, subscribe.
Maybe like it too. Maybe
you know what? It was actually just on this patio I heard the best story. Somebody was saying he was babysitting a kid and put the kid to bed, and he goes to leave, and the kid goes, like and subscribe. And he's like, what? He's like, isn't that what you say when
someone's leaving?
When it's over?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Good night.